our today's horror story comes from Whatever Man 6966. 10 plus year long friend group gone overnight.
People are more meaningful to me than ideas.
Culture of individualism plays a lot in this. People don't gather up together, they don't bond meaningful relationship because they are all stuck in their phones, and even if they are next to each other, they are far away on a different universes.
Honestly, as I will touch on later, I just wanted to get this out there, just to get it out of my own head. This is going to be a long one. So first, some backstory. Most of the friends in this story I met in college, and beyond just playing D&D in multiple campaigns, we would hang out and play video games, cards, go to the movies, go out to eat, you know, the entire gamut of normal friend stuff. So these weren't just D&D friends that met once a week. These were life friends.
That was a social group.
We had started playing D&D around the time 5th edition first came out, and really made an effort to meet up and play once a week if possible. A pair of people in the group called Person A and Person B, at least he didn't call them Thing 1 and Thing 2, were usually the GMs. Person A started the group off, but Person B, who was their sibling, really took the reins as GM shortly after and did it for far longer over the 10-year period that we were playing. As we played, more people joined, including 2 family members of mine and a work friend we all knew. Eventually, new partners joined as well, and we had quite a large group. Eventually, Person A and Person B decided to run a joint campaign. They wanted to send off our campaigns in Dungeons and Dragons, specifically as the system, with the Eye of Vecna module. We all made a bunch of characters and jumped into the campaign. Now, it is worth noting at this point that we primarily played virtually, like most people, I suppose. We regularly had technical issues and what I'll call poor mic etiquette sometimes, but nothing particularly terrible when we had first started playing. As we moved into this final campaign, though, a bunch of earlier issues seemed to become more common and frequent. My favorite is "you're muted." every time "you're muted." We see you talking, but we cannot hear you. I know your pet peeve. Do you want me to tell you what your pet peeve is?
What?
It's bad microphone.
Right, because it is very disturbing. It breaks immersion.
Due to scheduling issues, we could only meet once a week, and really only for about 2 to 4 hours. That's a good schedule. Once a week, 2 to 4 hours, that's pretty good at a time. And though they often are closer to the 4 hour than the 2. Another player, a member of my family, expressed disappointment to me privately for a few months about the state of affairs in the campaign. They felt like it just wasn't really doing it for them, not scratching the itch they wanted, and they were just feeling dissatisfied. Eventually, I told them that I would open the floor to the group in a gentle way to see if other people were having issues as well, since at this point, the increase in tardiness and seeming lack of interest from a bunch of people might have been pointing at a need to address some issues. So he's starting to see some people disengaging from the campaign, being late, not showing up, whatever.
Yeah. This D&D is not also for everybody, and if you are in a social group, there is a high chance that the whole social group wouldn't stick to a longer, especially longer campaigns. This is the state of D&D. We are here only gathering like-minded. That's why we connect through internet. Me from here, John from America, and also we run our games online as well as hired DMs of D&D for people all over the world. This is the best way to connect people at these times, and I think that is a bless for D&D players. Because this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Most of them are there not for D&D, and even if they all like D&D, there are so many different tables for any taste. For example, I lean towards horror games. John likes fantasy, mostly. Different people will find our tables suiting or not.
But if you're willing to go online and you've got the world at your fingertips, then you're gonna find a game in the schedule that you need.
Following links in the description, you can find our games as well and see if anything suits you. We'll be happy to have you in our tables.
Yeah, I even just posted an option for new players, learn to play D&D. It's one session, and I teach you how to play the game so you can get involved.
John always teaches how to play D&D, and he is very good at that.
All right, so one day in the Discord server, I asked if everyone was enjoying the campaign we were in and asked for an overall vibe check, since it seemed to me that maybe some people were losing interest. Right off the bat, person A became very defensive and said nothing was wrong and asking me why I was saying that. I mentioned a few things they had done on mic, like literally using their phone while they went to the supermarket to join the voice call and attempt to play.
Oh, this dedication, level of dedication. Running errands while playing D&D.
As long as you keep it muted and we're not hearing you at the checkout, I don't really have a problem with this. I actually had a player
not bad,
join from the airport while they were coming back from vacation on a flight. They didn't want to miss the session. I think it shows they love the game.
At airport, you don't have much stuff to do, and this is a perfect time to spend with the D&D. I would have really enjoyed it as well as a person playing. I think that I would enjoy it.
Seeing people walk by when they say, "I stabbed the dragon in the face," and looking at them weird.
Or stuck in a traffic jam.
I've had that
playing
happen
D&D.
too. Writer goes on to say, I also very distinctly remember bringing up some stuff I had also done as to not seem like a personal targeted attack, and more just some examples of behaviors that gave me the impression that perhaps we were not all focused on the campaign. My family member took the opportunity to also start saying their piece on how they felt and maybe looking for solutions. At this point, nothing seemed particularly bad until person A began to aggressively push back at the idea that someone would ask how everyone was feeling during a campaign they were running. Jointly, though, I might add just for clarity. Shortly after that, person A's partner became involved, and between the pair of them, message after message accusing me of being selfish, slinging targeted insults, and holding a grudge against them. I couldn't get a word in, really, to defend myself, and started to have a mild panic attack, something I'd never experienced due to interactions with this group. So I quit out of the Discord server after saying I'd be back later, simply to let everything cool down. Things did not cool down. Person A wrote essentially a long... He doubled down. Person A wrote essentially a long post in Discord server breaking down why they thought I was a selfish and shitty person and how their games would never be like Critical Role. Like a lot of D&D groups, it was a topic of discussion, but I don't really feel as though I'd ever said I wanted our campaigns to be like that. In fact, I was rather critical of Critical Role. If, no pun intended, if I'd given the impression that I wanted it to be like that, then it was not my intent. After this, one of my two family members, the one who expressed the discontent in the first place, left the server as well. The post about how awful I was as a person, in particular, hurt me quite deeply and made interacting with everyone else rather awkward. I'd heard from a few people that person A's reaction seemed a bit over the top, but other than that, there wasn't much said. My family member, who I trusted to tell me if I'm a twat, they must be English, because we don't really use that word in America.
So I think that he is making a little bit big deal over a simple little quarrel and misunderstanding. Doesn't it happen in all social groups? For me, it is the best way to know the person, how they handle a conflict. I don't mind having a conflict with persons. So if you just bail off as soon as things start heated, you are not connected to each other. Probably, you have to figure out how to handle situations like that. That's why we are living in a society.
I think he handled this a little bit wrong. I think he probably should have gone to the DM by himself first and not put it on blast in the Discord server. People can become very defensive when they feel attacked by a group, especially. They think I'm being attacked by a group and they find out it's really only one or two people. Then they start to get aggressive and go after those two people, which seems to be what happened here.
The basic behavior become defensive when you are being attacked. That's why you don't attack another person, especially in front of others.
I think he should have gone to the person alone and said, hey, there's some grumbling. People are acting a little disconnected. What do you think? Now you're working with them to correct a problem you might be seeing. Or they could say, I'm not really seeing that. I'm okay if he joins from the grocery store. I don't care. I didn't want to make anyone choose sides. Is that where I was? And it fully felt like what happened was uncalled for what it's worth. Probably it was. It got personal and it shouldn't have. I didn't want to make anyone choose sides, so I never really pressed the issue and everyone drifted away. It's been a significant time afterward, and I basically have no friend group I can meet up with in person anymore. And I'm honestly so old that I have no idea how to start over. To add insult to injury, I see that everyone is still hanging out with person A, and I'm the odd one out these days, which also hurts a great deal as well. I've gone over my actions over and over, and while I can see how perhaps a nerve was pushed, or perhaps person A thought I was trying to underhandedly attack their new partner, relatively new. They'd been part of the group for what felt like a year, and I'd shared a bunch of pleasant conversations with them. I still don't really understand how a friendship of more than 10 years was just thrown out over me speaking out of turn on trying to see if everyone was still enjoying ourselves with the current situation, or if we needed to make a change. Even the least generous read of my own actions falls short of the consequences.
You could handle this after that. You could speak to this person A without blaming each other. Just, okay, let's figure out. I see it from my point of view. It looks like this. How does it look from your point of view? And after that, you might realize that you were in the wrong and maybe even accept this new knowledge and tell that you are sorry and yeah, I didn't see it coming.
The fact that the rest of the friend group stayed together
and
after you were gone,
after that,
yeah, it seems to me like the other players, you came across to them too as being disruptive or divisive.
It speaks volume.
Yeah, you keep looking over your own actions from your own point of view. Have you bothered to ask anybody else how you came across? And if you did and then apologized, I didn't mean to come across like that. I was really just trying to improve the game. Then maybe there's room for some healing and to get back together with your group.
And as we see that not group did how did he said that overnight the group was destroyed. The group stayed. You are the one who is banned from the group. It is not all that hard to get back there. Just speaking to them without defenses and trying to figure out what's happening. Not even explaining yourself, just saying that, oh, you know, I didn't think about that. I was a fool, probably.
Yeah. Definitely don't go in saying, I thought about this 1,000 different ways and I don't see where I was wrong.
And they are probably not bad persons, either of them. They just handled the situation wrong.
Let your pride go, crawl back, apologize, and make amends.